Hey, you guys, and welcome back once again to 15 for 15 with myself, Natalie Smith Wells, and my guest today is none other than Amber Wilson Robbins. I am floored that I get the opportunity to share her with you guys because this is not only a beautiful, beautiful young lady on the outside, but she is just as beautiful on the inside. And I am ecstatic that I get to share her with you. And so Amber and I got to know each other at the great Georgia Southern University. When I got to Georgia Southern, she was going into her junior year. So I got the opportunity to coach her for 2 years. Amazing hurdler, both the 100 hurdles, 60 hurdles during indoor, and also the 400-meter hurdles. And she was a very, very strong leg as well on the 4x4. So I'm going to go ahead and bring Amber in now so we can give you 15 minutes of this beauty.
Hi.
Hey, gorgeous, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Oh my gosh, I'm so good now that I see
I
you.
know, same. It's so good to see you.
Oh, look, and you know, and you already know, like, I love hearing you talk.
I know. I can't. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's bad. When I hear myself playing on a video, it's like, oh no, I don't. That doesn't sound too good.
I love it. You are through and through Georgia country girl, horse riding girl. I mean, you're a real Georgia peach because
Well,
I can hear it. So for those of you that are watching, you could just listen as she talks. It's gonna get even more twang in
oh
it
yeah.
the more we
I
talk.
get comfortable. It just starts coming out naturally. So
Exactly. Well, you look absolutely beautiful as
thank
always.
you. So do you.
As always. Well, look, we're gonna jump in because we got 15 minutes.
All right.
So let's start off with the obvious. Like, why did you choose Georgia Southern? I know that you are a Southern girl, but why did you choose Georgia Southern for track and field?
Right. Georgia Southern was one of the schools that I went and visited. I went to many different other schools and visited. I liked them, but running track for me was an outlet and it's somewhere where I felt safe and I wanted to just escape everything in everyday life. And when I walked into Georgia Southern and ate with some fellow track girls that were taking all the recruits around and everything, um, I just got to talking to them and almost immediately throughout the conversation, I was like, this is where I need to be. These
Mm,
people are wonderful. This team is going to be wonderful. And not because of like just winning things, but because of the people and their just personalities. And I knew that this was going to be my home away from home. So
oh,
that's
that's good. I love that. And you're right. The young ladies that were there before you got there, I mean, I'm not trying to hate on any other class at Georgia
yeah.
Southern or nothing like that. I'm not saying that, but between like the people that, I never even got to really be around, but like your Marlo and Margot's, and I think a young lady named Giselle, and
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
then you bring in the Lauren and the Brittany crew
Yep.
and all that, and then your crew coming in with you and Dominique. I mean,
I know.
well,
See?
I
Yeah.
mean, geez, like y'all just had it going on. So
I,
that's why you chose there, and you said it almost felt kind of like home. So, what was it then about the team that you kind of loved so much once you got there?
it was just almost immediately friends, a friendship. Track is typically an individual sport, but we just always felt like a sisterhood. I mean, we were always going to hang out with each other on the sidelines or talk to each other. And when we were there, we were just together and helping each other. I don't ever remember any jealousy or fighting or bickering. It was all on my side of it. I always felt encouraged and loved by every one of the girls and the coaches. And I loved them just as much. Like I would have done anything for them. So it was just that unity and that bond that just made my 4 years running just the most special time. I tell everybody what's the best time of your life besides right now having kids,
Yeah.
is my 4 years at Georgia Southern running track with my track team and those girls. So
Oh.
yeah.
And when I got there, you guys had established that, and
Mhm.
the team was only, no joke, the team was only, I think, 5 years old when I got there. Meaning Georgia Southern had just really started the program. You guys had built something that takes years, like like I feel that in my
Yeah.
bones. Like that takes years to build that type of camaraderie, sisterhood, and you girls were awesome in the classroom. Like, I mean, I just felt like I walked into a gold mine, which I
Yeah.
did.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm thinking back to even Amber then. And so what would you say about yourself as that, 19, 20-year old? Maybe give me three. That's what I've
Yeah.
been kind of asking. Three characteristics or descriptive words about yourself, and then we'll shift over to who you are today.
So this is hard because on the track, I felt very confident. Like I was a confident runner, but that's where it ended. I felt very lost and insecure when I was not on the track. I felt insecure, lost. Just I didn't feel like I had a place other than on the track. So that's why being on the track and being with the team meant so much to me, and I took it so seriously because anywhere else I didn't feel like I belonged. So
Ooh, girl.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Look, I'm gonna try to ask you the second
I
part, but
know I'm sorry. I
oh
know I'm
man.
trying to be good too with not
I
crying.
know, but that's very powerful. And I wonder how many people that have had some tie to whether it's athletics, even just going back to people having their friendships in college that aren't necessarily that anymore.
Yeah.
But to hear that when I was on the track, I was the most confident, I felt the most like myself, but
Yes.
any other time that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
There's more people out there like that than we
Yeah.
know.
Mm-hmm.
And so now you as this mom, this dynamite wife of 10 years, married to a boy from your hometown that y'all didn't even know each other like that then.
Yep. Mm-mm.
And so how do you see Amber today?
I am happy. I feel safe. I feel loved. I feel confident. I'm where I'm supposed to be at. And I I could not be happier in my life right now. And everything leading up to this point was because of track and just where I am at now. I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm safe. I'm happy, and I'm where I'm supposed to be. And I feel when I step outside of my house, I'm the same person. So, whereas with track, I only felt that way when I was at the track. And then when I would leave, I was somebody else. But now I can confidently go out and be who I want to be and be who I am. And I still struggle. I'm not the most, social person anymore. It's just something to do with having kids and raising kids, but I feel good. I'm happy. So
Oh, honey, you said that you feel confident, you feel safe, and you feel, just protected. And that is a powerful place to be.
it is. It feels good.
And you know what else it speaks to? It speaks to you must have a dynamite man.
Yes, absolutely. I would not be the person I am today for that, not for Wit. I mean, Wit's my husband's name. He is a strong, I mean, just confident, hardworking, supportive, encouraging. I mean, he's just every great dad, great
Mm.
husband. He's a leader, and when I fall short, he's there to pick it up, and that's amazing. So
Oh
he's
man,
one.
shout out to Wit and
Yeah,
to all the good men that may even watch this. This is amazing. And that is also another sign of having a very solid and a good man in your life when as a woman you
hmm
can say, I feel found, I feel
yeah,
safe, I feel covered. And the way you speak about him lets me know what type of wife that you are.
oh,
So I bless you
but
for honoring him in
yeah.
that way.
Thank
So that is amazing. So I know that okay, Georgia Southern, you're in school. You were in school to be in public
yeah,
relations and being the girl that's on the sideline at the NFL game or,
yeah.
or on Sports Center, and
hmm
you've always had all the tools to be able to do that. So what made you guys decide, you and Whit, that when you got married and decided to have kids, that you were like, you know what, I'm going to stay at home and raise my kids?
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
It came from nowhere. It just happened. We have three kids, 8, 9, 9, 8, and 6, two boys and a little girl. and Brady, Brett, and Bailey. And I worked up into the day I had my oldest son, Brady, and I thought I was going to go straight back to work. Well, I got straight pregnant, you know.
Right.
So,
Right.
um, that's what happened. God blessed us to get
Mm.
pregnant, and you know, it was in the books for us, you know, with him to have kids back to back. We had 3 kids in less than 3 years. And, you know, the family that I was working for at a cosmetic surgery center, they were like, "You'll come back anytime. You're always welcome." And I still have contact with them to this day. And, you know, we just talked about it as husband and wife and looked at our kids and said, "What do you think is going to be best? Is this okay with you? Is this okay with you?" And I was like, "Absolutely. Let's try it out. If it's not working out, then I can go back to work." But it has turned out to be the biggest blessing. Not a lot of families are able to stay home with their sick kids or go pick them up or take them to the doctor right immediately when they're sick or go to their plays or volunteer at school. And I get to do all of that. I get to go on the field trips, and seeing my kids' faces when I'm there is means everything to me. So, and I try to do it for my friends whose moms work. You know, I'm kind of like the second mom. You know, I got your kid. I'll take the pictures. I'll help you out. I'll bring them home. I'll bring them lunch. You know, I think working moms are just absolutely super women, like absolutely. So I try to do my best to help them out as well. So
Amber, that's special. And the stuff that you're listing off is invaluable. And it is time that you cannot get back. And so I can only imagine just what you guys are pouring into your children now that some of us, a lot of us, we didn't have that. So you're
yeah,
giving them such a special gift. So I would want to know, if there's moms watching right now that maybe they're just now kind of starting this
yeah.
journey and they're like, what the crap? What would you say to them to encourage them about being a stay-at-home mom and how they can kind of get settled in that?
Yeah. It gets better. That's my first advice. It gets better. You're going to feel very lonely. You're going to feel out of touch. You're going to feel isolated. I'm not saying I was just, oh, stay at home mom, I'm happy all the time. Absolutely not. I suffered from postpartum. I suffered with am I making the right decision? But it gets better. We're in a season of our life with our kids that it's amazing. We've gotten through it. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. If for any reason, like, you don't think this is for you, then don't do it. Don't beat yourself up at it. You and your family are the only people that knows what's best for you. And right now, this is what's best for us. And we're happy doing it. He's happy. I'm happy. Our kids are happy.
Mm.
So it gets better. And I'm always here to talk if anybody needs any. So
Oh, I love that. And I know you mean that. I mean,
absolutely. Like,
I
I've
know.
been through it. I've been through it all. Like, I went through the postpartum, which is terrible. I was like, I'm not going to take anything. That's for weak people.
Mm.
No, you got to do what you need to do. And, I finally got over all of that, and I got into a good place. And I'm thankful that I didn't let that stereotype
That's right.
get me down and, prevent me from taking care of myself,
Mm.
because I am a happy mom now. I have bad days. The kids have bad days. It's part of life, but we're going through it right now, and it's wonderful. So
Oh, I love that. I love that. I love hearing you. I don't know. I love the power in you. I love how you described how you have transitioned because it is so obvious. It's all over you. And so I want to go back for a second to Georgia Southern because a
okay.
couple things just like popped in my mind.
Okay.
So the first thing is when we would be on the bus, okay? One
Yeah.
thing about you girls, because for those of you that don't know, Georgia Southern only had a women's team. And so we would be on the bus, and for some reason, all the people in the back of the bus, including Amber, would always tend to think that it would be time to freestyle
Yep.
every time we got on the bus on our way back home.
Yeah.
So y'all even got me to freestyle one time. I don't know why, but at the end, everybody just sat down and went to sleep. And I was like, was it
Yeah.
good or was it
Yeah.
bad? But
Right.
so tell me about your experience that you remember being on the bus and you can say whoever because we can name names,
Yeah, I
but
think I'll know who it is.
yeah. So what was it about that, and how involved did you get with the freestyling on the bus?
Well, so it would happen like either like on late night roads back where we couldn't sleep. I mean, we all know those buses suck to sleep on.
Yes.
I need everything dark. I need a sound machine if I'm going to sleep. So everybody was up. And, everybody would just get together in the back and crowd around and, all right, your turn, your turn. And I'd be like, oh man, everybody sounds so good. I can do this. No, I cannot do this. Like it would just be like the most straightest, like, I run track. I am Amber. All right, I'm good. And I really thought I was doing something. And
Mhm.
everybody was hot. Brittany, Lauren, Nicole, everybody was just Dominique. Everybody was hyping me up.
Yes.
Carla was hyping me up. And I was like, oh man, I'd go to bed that night thinking, oh, I need to work on it. So next time I can be even better because I was really good.
Right. Killing it.
Absolutely. I know for a fact they were just being so nice to me because I was not killing it. So,
Ooh, I
but
remember
those were
that.
the best in the ice baths in the hotel. Like the
Mhm.
ice baths in the hotel, the bus rides, those were some fun times. Those were awesome.
Those are just the good old. I mean, I would remember sitting at the front because I was kind of an isolated coach, but I would sit at the front and be trying so hard not to laugh at y'all. And I don't know if it was when we won conference, but it was at some point y'all talked me into coming
Oh,
back.
yeah.
I was like, you know what?
Dang it.
I'm going. Like, I'm just gonna go knock it
Good.
out.
Yeah. Man, why didn't we have video? Why didn't we video that?
I don't know, but I'm so
I'm
glad.
glad though that y'all
Yeah,
didn't video me. So
me too. Because what y'all would do is we would do it, and then everybody like, hey, and I'm like,
yeah,
I don't even know if that was good.
yeah.
I do remember you dropping a couple rhymes, so
Oh yeah.
shout out to all the girls,
Yes.
especially from that 2007, 2008 class.
Best.
It was
Love
amazing.
y'all so much.
Yes. So tell me then, because I know that your senior year, I mean, you were up there in regards to like the 110, like 110, the 100
Yeah.
hurdles. I'm thinking about guys, but the
Yeah.
100 hurdles, and it was like, I think we were at Western Carolina,
Mhm.
which we knew them and App State were always kind of our,
Yeah.
rivals, so to speak. Tell me about that moment because we could talk about a
Oh,
lot of
I've got
good
chill bumps.
moments.
Got chill bumps.
Yes, tell me about that moment of your last race in the
Yeah.
100 hurdles.
So my last race, it was pouring down rain. Me and another girl, Asia Davis. I've beat her before. She's beat me before. I've beat her before. We were always just, back and forth. And I mean, we both had a wonderful chance of winning the title and in the conference. And it was pouring down rain. It was freezing.
Mhm.
I had already done some heptathlete events, just the pouring down rain, and I knew this was my last 100 hurdles. This is what I've worked for through high school, through college, everything. And we got down and we were just and I think it was 0.03 seconds of a time difference, and she wound up beating me. And I just
Woo.
remember bawling in the rain. I couldn't hold it back. My dad came and just grabbed me up and was like, Amber, you did it. Like I congratulated her because she's amazing. So that was hard. It was hard. It was memorable. And I think it made me just sad that my time was ending at Georgia Southern. So for track. So
Oh,
it was
man.
hard.
I remember that moment too, but you just touched on what really even stood out to me more because I know how important that was. That race altogether was just crazy. I
Yeah.
mean,
Hmm.
like you said, it was raining. We had sat still for a long time.
Hmm.
It was cold. We were
Yeah.
in Halloween, so it was cold.
Yeah.
But that was what was so amazing. I can feel it right now. Was
Mhm.
like when you guys cross and we're all waiting, like,
It was quiet.
yeah,
I
that
felt like
I remember
you
the
could only
moment.
hear the rain. And then they said Asia. And I was like, I was in shock. I was happy for her, but so sad at the same time. So yeah, it was
Amber,
definitely a memorable
that's I'm
experience.
glad that you said that though, because I remember when you congratulated her, and
Yeah.
I'm like,
I think we
"Look."
gave each other like huge
Y'all
hugs.
did, and I'm
You know,
like,
she was a senior too, I think. Or was she a senior? I
I
can't remember,
don't know, but I remember
but
thinking, look at talking about you, this superstar, because you sucked it up long enough to
oh,
say,
absolutely.
great race, but when
Yeah.
you turned around,
Oh, yeah.
oh, and so I want to kind of close with that. Because that's a sign of how you've always been. And if I go back to any of your teammates, they would say that. I'm sure if I call your sister right now, she would say the same thing. What is it, and how have you always had this thing about you that despite what you may be feeling, despite the hurt you may be going through, despite the disappointments you may have,
Mhm.
how is it that you always love on people, push them, encourage them, support them, even when you're thinking, God, where does that strength come from? Because you've always had that.
It just it's not hard to me. Like it just is what comes natural. Like I don't have to think about it.
Hmm.
Like I genuinely want people to be happy. Like I really do. I want people to be happy, and I want people to feel loved, and I want them to feel like someone's on their side, even if we're on the same team. I want somebody to feel like maybe somebody didn't have somebody to say congratulations or good job, you know. I don't I always want to be the person that is something to somebody else. No matter if, you know, they just beat me or whatever, or but I've always had it in my heart to be a carer and a nurturer, and I tear up thinking about it just because I don't see myself as that way. It just comes, it's just a natural reaction for me to go hug somebody or tell them good job. So it's just always in me to do that.
Can I just I hope I can say this, but what that is you just have the heart of Christ in you.
Oh, well, thank you.
You know what I mean? Like there's nothing else to explain that by, because like you said, it just is a part of you and it comes natural for you. And there's a sense of empathy and harmony that comes out of you, that you want things to go well, and you can't explain it
Yeah. Well,
because you can feel it.
yeah. And I'll tell you what really got me into, like, I've never been really big on, you know, I never grew up having somebody teach me the Bible or anything like that. Nicole on the team, I was going through a dark time, boyfriend, silly, you know, silly college stuff, and a breakup with my mom and all that kind of stuff. And Nicole wrote me a 3-page letter, and I'm kicking myself I don't have it. But she wrote in there, and I had it taped to my mirror all the way up until I got married. Um, and it was Deuteronomy 7:17.
Mm.
And I just had this letter of her, the most encouraging Christ spoken letter that I've never read or heard of before. And how it was explained and talked to, it felt like she was talking to me naturally, but through Christ as well. And it really spoke to me. And that's when I started to get into more of learning about the Bible and that sort of thing. So shout out to Nicole for
Yes.
starting my relationship with God and everything, because I never had that before. So
I I know this is gonna blow her mind. So I'm like, Amber, shout out to Nicole. You guys
yes,
that didn't watch, I think she was on like episode 4, who's a Hall of Famer at Georgia Southern.
yes, amazing.
Please, I love that. I love that. I mean, you've mentioned so many people and so many moments, and I love that pull those moments together and you've cherished and carried those moments with you. Because I know if I gave you a minute, you'd probably go try to find the letter, but we'll leave that
I
letter
know.
to Nicole.
I want to so bad. I'll take a
Exactly.
picture and send it.
Okay, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, Amber, you know how much I love you. I'm blown away. But again, like I say, but not surprised. This is an expectation. Your beauty has always radiated from you, not just from the outside, but from the inside first.
Yeah.
And I want you to keep leaning into that, keep leaning into who you are and the amazing things that you bring to the table, because it is insane.
Well, thank you.
It's
I appreciate
insane.
it. I could talk to you all day, and
I know.
I mean, it just feels like we're just right back on the bus. Like I'm coming up there talking to you about something, that
Man.
stupid boy that broke my heart, or you know, whatever the case is. Like it just feels like we're back on the bus, like talking. So I've
Oh,
really enjoyed it, and I'm so thankful I've been able to do this with you.
me
So
too. Me too.
always,
Thank you, love. I know that you're going to be doing something cool with your family and
yeah.
your kid tonight. So
Mhm.
please enjoy and give your dad and your sister my
I
love.
sure will. I will for sure. It's so good to see you. I love you.
You too. Love you too, babe. Talk to you
All
soon.
right.
All
Bye.
right. Bye. I told you guys, compassion does not even describe this young lady's just heart and her drive. I mean, you can her heart is literally tangible. And if you really listen, you can hear it, you can feel it. And I want to encourage somebody as I close out today is I kind of jotted it down. But one of the things Amber said was, although when she was younger, she may have felt insecure or maybe doubtful of herself or even lost, but she says, but today I feel confident, I feel safe, I feel found. And I don't know who needs to hear that. But moving from that place of feeling lost to feeling found, moving from a place of feeling insecure to feeling safe, that's powerful, but beyond any award, beyond any amount of money. And again, I do want to shout out her husband again, because just to hear her talk about him, we know all too well that he must be an amazing man. So thank you again for joining Amber and I on this episode of 15 15 for 15, and we'll see you next time.